it was just, that's very foreshadowing. Hi, so it has been a minute since I've last posted a video or even made a video. I will not lie, there have been attempts at filming some, but nothing that I just really enjoyed or felt proud of. But today we are making a video. We are going to be talking about my Disney College experience. You may or may not hear some rain and thunder in the background. It is storming right now, but honestly, it's a nice little vibe for me, and I hope it is for you as well. Kind of fits the aesthetic of like the mood lights. I've got my tea. It just feels really nice, and I just wanted to preface that. It has officially been 2 years since I moved to Disney World to go and partake in the Disney College program. Now, the experiences that I experienced do not reflect the company as a whole. These are my personal experiences with very specific people. I personally dealt with a lot, and it was hard, but I did persevere simply through my own willpower. But I am proud of myself for completing my program and going through with my program, because there was a light at the end of the tunnel for me. Unfortunately, I do know that some people do have negative experiences and do not wish to fulfill their entire program, and that is okay. So the process leading up to the beginning of my program was very easy. It went fairly smooth. I didn't really have any trouble. I got a quick response. I had a fast offer. I made friends quickly. I joined a lot of groups. That's how I made the friends that I made. We talked often. We FaceTimed almost every night. And I was able to register my cat as an emotional support animal. The only bump I had with that was just the time of the acceptance, because it was like the day I'm leaving, I'm packing my car, and I'm like, hey, can I bring my cat? And they're like, yes, like, we just need to send the email, but we do have the confirmation. I was like, okay, great. And then I start working, and I was placed in Frontierland at Pecos Bill. Upon training, they put me into the kitchen. I was like the only programmer there. Everyone else was moved to front of house. I had no kitchen experience. My only experience in food are like in front of house with registers. They said, oh, it's okay, like, we just need you to be trained back here in case we need you back here, but you will be trained for front of house, yada yada yada. Oh, okay. So I go through my training, and it's hard. I was with one other girl, and she was in the same boat as me, and all of the people who were working in the kitchen were full-time, part-time. Some were past CPs, but a lot of them were working in the front. It was all out just a negative place. Everyone was yelling, everyone was angry all the time. No one talked to you, no one was nice to you, and I was like, this is not what I thought Disney cast members would be. I thought everyone was happy and hardworking and friendly, and they were not at all. Maybe hardworking, but a lot of them cut corners, and then would get mad at me for cutting corners, and I'm like, you just did that, whatever. And the leaders there were not involved at all. The leaders spent a lot of time in their office or in front of house. They did not help us in the back. If we were short-staffed or were going through a rush, they wouldn't come help us. Not at all. And I personally struggled a lot, like socially and emotionally, with my location, because I was trying to be nice and be friendly and to everybody, but trying to really like talk to and be friendly with the younger cast members who were around my age. But a lot of them had already formed their own relationships amongst themselves and kind of ignored me. I'm not gonna lie, like, I would look someone in the eye when talking to them and they blatantly ignored me, and I knew they heard me because they're looking at me, and I would repeat myself in case they might not have heard. They heard. So I tried approaching my leaders and saying, hey, I'm struggling a lot back here mentally. I'm experiencing anxiety and depression and panic attacks just because I feel like I'm being ignored. And it's really weighing me down. And I expressed that I had an emotional support animal for this. I've been diagnosed for anxiety and depression. Like, it's not foreign to me, but I need help because I don't know what else to do. My leaders were not helpful at all. They did not provide me any sources, which Disney does have outreach sources for therapy and things like that, whether it be physical therapy, emotional therapy, counseling. They were not helpful at all, and it got to a point where I reached out to like the main person in charge of Pecos Bill, and I had emailed her saying, I don't know what to do. I've talked to almost all of these leaders and no one has been able to provide any kind of help or counseling for this. I don't trust them anymore, and I don't know where else to turn. So I'm able to set up a meeting with her. So she pulls me into the office and we talk. Now granted, this was a while ago, so I don't remember everything specifically. But the things I do remember, I remember. And she was saying, you don't trust your leaders? That's very troubling to me. Like, what is that supposed to mean? And I'm explaining everything to her. I'm crying to her. And she's saying, so what do you expect me to do? I can't make people your friend. So I'm replying that I'm not asking for friends. I'm asking for basic human decency. This place is just a negative environment for me, and I simply do not want to be here anymore. I want to work for this company. I enjoy working for this company. But the cast members at this location make it very, very difficult. And I was like, keep me in the kitchen, that's fine. Just put me in a different kitchen. Just send me to a different location. Because obviously you're not training me for front of house, and this has been months into my program, mind you. I did not get trained anywhere else. I'd never received any other training. Don't put me in front of house, that's fine. Just take me out of this location. I don't want to be here. Put me across the street, something. I don't know. No, we don't do that. Yes, you do, because there have been other CPs at this location who have come to you saying that they believe they're best suit elsewhere, and you moved them. I don't know what these people had against me. I feel like Pecos Bill had a personal vendetta against me. It really truly felt like that. Nothing happened, nothing changed. And I was so far into my program, it felt pointless to quit now. I was just going to finish out the rest of my program. Not too long later, I end up having a physical injury at work. The location I was at was a very strenuous location. We did a lot of lifting, a lot of reaching, a lot of overhead reaching, a lot of under reaching, a lot of reaching across. And upon arrival at Disney and the training that you receive at any location, there is a green zone and a red zone. And it simply just means, like, this is how you should be positioning your body for certain activities. And this is not how you should be positioning your body for certain activities because it puts a strain. That makes perfect sense. I understand that. But when you're standing on hard concrete for 11 hours a day, constantly doing this exact same thing, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I personally already experienced bad back problems. I had seen a chiropractor for a very long time. And when moving to Orlando, I did not have a chiropractor because I could not find the time to go see one regularly. So it was just a physical struggle overall. Now, I am not the most fit person. I'm not in the gym every day, but I'm not the most unfit person. I can lift, I can walk, I can run, like, I can be active. But I did pull muscles, nerves, I don't know specifically, in my neck, both sides, and my shoulders and upper back. The movement in which I was doing was reaching overhead, trying to reach for something that I could not reach. I'm on my tippy toes reaching for this. And when I brought my arms back down, this all got really, really tight, and I could not move my head side to side. I had to sit completely still. I continued working. I did not stop. I did not say anything. I just went about my merry old way. One of the coordinators noticed I was moving funny, and she asked if I was okay, and I'm like, no, I can't move my head. It's whatever. So she tells me to go to the office and tell the leaders that I need to leave. I told her no, I don't like the leaders. I don't feel comfortable around the leaders. I don't want to go. And she's like, do you want me to tell them? Yes, please. I don't want to deal with them, because they've never been of any help to me, so I know they're not going to be of help to me now. So they asked me to come in, and they asked what happened. I told them, and so they sent me home. There is a doctor's office on Disney property for cast members and for guests. I go to that doctor's office, I see a doctor, and they prescribe me restrictions, physical work restrictions, and PT, physical therapy. And then they put me into a transitional duty for 4 weeks or a month. And so each week I had a different location that I would be working at. It was through merchandise. I was a part of the merchandise team for my transitional duty. At first, I did glow. I was basically making the bubble wands for guests to purchase on the little trolleys that get pushed around. Those are glow cast members. That's what that is. I did that for maybe 2 weeks. And then the next 2 weeks, I was working in the Emporium. And I was folding t-shirts to put on the t-shirt wall. That was basically all I did. And honestly, both locations were awesome. These were Disney cast members. All of these people made an effort to learn my name. All of these people made an effort to tell me good morning or goodbye, or to ask how my day is, or simply just to make a conversation. These were friendly people, and I loved it. I loved it. I have worked in fast food before, and it is difficult. It is a hard job. It's mainly just the people who come through, the customers that you get, that make it suck. I had plenty of fun with my coworkers at my previous jobs, and it was nowhere near the level that Disney is at. So I loved my merchandise experience. It was awesome. But then my time is up, and I'm sent back to Pecos. But I do have permanent restrictions. I can only stand for 45 minutes. I need to go sit down for 15 minutes. I'm not allowed to reach. I'm not allowed to lift. And I'm basically doing the exact same thing that I was doing before my restrictions. And I would go to the leaders and say, this hurts. This is still putting a strain on my body to where I'm feeling the same pain I felt the first time when I injured myself. They don't care. They did not care. And a lot of people were complaining about my restrictions. And when I'd follow them and going sit down, they complain about me sitting down or that they weren't real. And that's neither here nor there. If you don't believe me, you don't believe me. If you don't like it or you're jealous about it, tough. But legally, I do have to follow these restrictions, and legally they did help me. However, I was not able to legally follow all of my restrictions because my leaders did not want to listen to me. Again, but I'm not sure the specific term, but I'm going to say the disabilities team of Disney had reached out asking how things were going. And I was very frank. I said, this sucks. I'm still in pain and no one wants to listen to me. And the woman I worked with, I loved her. She's like, girl, I got you. And boy, did she get me. She had me transitioned into a completely different role the next day. She called me. She's like, don't go to work today. I was scheduled to go into work. She says, don't go into work. You are now on merchandise and you're going to be located in the Emporium. I worked in the Emporium. Now this is probably like the last 2 or 3 months of my program. It wasn't a very long process, but it was also about a month or 2, give or take, since my transitional duty. I'm gonna say it was a month since my transitional duty. And so I go back and I recognize these people because I was like, they made an impression on me. So I remembered them. They remembered me. They were like, oh my God, where have you been? And I was like, that was transitional duty. I wasn't a cast member here. And they're like, oh my God, well, welcome. Like, we're so happy to have you. My time in the Emporium was the best time of my life. And I wanted to extend for there. I made my decision to come home and to finish my schooling. I needed to finish off my minor, and then I was done. And I did it, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm glad I did it because it landed me the job I have now. But overall, my time in Disney was a good time. It was a very hard time. It took a very long time, a lot of emotional and physical pain to get to the really good times. I did end up making some friends through Pecosville. And the odd thing was, it was after my transitional duty time, after I had gotten injured. People didn't remember me. Some did. Most didn't. And I was like, hey, I've been here for months and I was gone for 4 weeks and you don't remember me. Understood. But I truly, truly enjoyed working. I loved going to work. And of course, I'm complaining like, oh, I don't want to go to work. But when I got there, I had an amazing time. Did I have guests yelling at me that I ruined their vacation? Yes. I'm just trying to follow the rules that have been laid in front of me. That's not my fault. But then right after that, another guest would come up and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Or just be nice. Or I have gotten like little gifts from the guests that would come in. They're so sweet. I had one woman, she came back. I was like, oh my gosh, you're back again. You already found something else? She's like, no, I wanted to give this to you because you were so kind to me. I literally did nothing. I was just being myself and being nice and throwing a little bit of Disney magic in here and there. I treated her the same as I did any other guest, but she loved it so much that she came back and she gave me a little sticker, and it was a little koala. It was very cute because she was from Australia. But I could rave about the cast at the Emporium. They are phenomenal people. Even the leadership, they are phenomenal people. I had even asked for one of their business cards just to try and say, hey, like, I want to come back, and it would be easy if I could have an insider's like contact to be like, I have their business stuff. They know me. They were happy to give me their card. I still have their card. Am I going back to the Disney College Program? No. Am I going back to the Disney company? No. Do I want to go back? Yeah. I really want to go back, but I need to see some things through. And yeah, that is basically how my experience with the Disney College Program went. I'm sure I missed out a lot, but that's just the basic overview. Either way, I'm very glad I did it, and I highly recommend that others do it. I hope to try and make more YouTube videos. We shall see. I know I keep saying I will, and I don't, but we shall see. But thank you for watching. I'm very grateful that you've made it this far. I'm grateful that you even clicked on the video. But if you would like to subscribe to see if I possibly make more videos, I greatly appreciate that as well. But other than that, I will see y'all real soon.